Good afternoon, everyone. Happy 4th of July. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, July 4th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Anxiety is the tense state between that which you are and that which you should be. People are bound to remain anxious if there is a should in life. And life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. We have a choice. We can choose trust over fear. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, that's not that easy because we're so used to viewing life as serious. If you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight, almost no weight. In fact, so weightless, one can fly in the open sky. In every moment, all of us have the golden opportunity to choose trust over fear. When we can learn how to let go of this tight grip we have on life, we immediately make a more intimate space for a closer relationship with the divine healing intelligence that abides behind everything. All of our overly fearful, doubtful, and protective feelings instantly fade away when we are trusting that a divine intelligence is always present in our lives. A softness blossoms inside, and we regain our natural ability to relax fully into our bodies, and we can start enjoying every detail about our present, past, and future in the now. With deep trust, we can evolve as spiritual beings, and without it, we are lost. We can ascend to the point where we are trusting that every experience that life brings us is absolutely divine and perfect. Even if an experience may be painful, the greater blessing is known and felt hidden inside. A trusting heart can quietly realize how a fear is our greatest teacher, always invoking a higher state of spiritual awareness into our future so that we stop pretending to be these small, powerless, ego-driven beings and start living that truly amazing life that we all so love. I find choosing trust over fear really comes down to worshiping our spiritual nature over our egos. It's about a deep devotion to our real selves and being truly dedicated to filling up our precious time on this earth with more relaxation, appreciation, and joy instead of ego-driven anxieties, demands, and tension. And with trust as our deepest guide, we can pierce through the ego's veil of ignorance and perceive those life-challenging people and situations with the utmost patience and appreciation. Having no resistance to fear, we flow with the great spirit of life and know everything works itself out karmically in the very end. This level of trust instills such a fresh, enlightening perspective about life which instantly liberates the mind from all negative thinking. With trust in charge, when we hit an emotional wall of resistance or fear, we open up to it instead of shut down even further. We feel into the wall, knowing there is always a bigger spiritual lesson behind it to be learned, and looking forward to finding out what it is. This approach is what allows for a deeper state of peace to make its home inside our hearts and our souls. Trust is such a powerful force that can turn the most ordinary life instantly into an extremely rich spiritual adventure. With trust, we feel safe and connected with everyone we meet, and naturally are overflowing with an effervescent joy in all directions. We tend to respond to others with compassion instead of criticism, curiosity instead of impatience, and understanding instead of judgment. Every moment of life becomes a new doorway that opens up to the highest and deepest aspects of our being. When we become more aware how trust is a choice, we discover our power to either expand or contract our experience of life in each moment. This power enables us to become the spiritual masters of our destiny. We no longer fear life, yet embrace it all. As we gain more trusting momentum, we are able to remain only in the trust vibration for longer periods of time. We understand how to skyrocket our consciousness in a matter of minutes and eventually catapult our lives into the fifth dimensional realm of the divine. Trust is the magical gateway to our true unlimited nature as it transcends the ego and opens the door to our most enlightened state of consciousness. The self is like the screen, and the world is like the pictures on it. You can see the picture only so long as there is a screen. But when the seer himself becomes the screen, only the self remains, Ramana. If fear has been dominating your life, retreat. You can let it go. Forgive yourself. Free the others. And release whatever has happened in your past. And you can move on. It is not worth it to hang on to any low vibration for another day. Trust that all the trauma you received in this life was given by God to wake you up from this deep, sleepy dream. We are all asleep, and everyone has been caught in some dramatic, perpetually self-wounding victim spin cycle, taught to never to trust in life, ourselves, or anyone else again. Just let it go. And remember, you are still lovable, worthy, and totally amazing, exactly as you are. You just signed up for a massive class in spiritual growth and radical enlightened maturity. Whatever our past life circumstances might have been, we are always given the choice how we wish to respond to them now, in this very moment. Every time we choose trust over fear, everyone's heart opens a bit wider. We feel a more gentle, healing, heartwarming energy coming in. This warm, trusting heart is needed in this life, for the divine, intelligent universe is always testing our level of awareness, checking in to see how awake we truly are. The test is always the same. How will we choose to respond? With more trust or more fear? It might throw us a bag of super sour lemons just to see if we know how to add some playful, creative sweetness and make a pitcher of lemonade. To not value the gift of a human incarnation is like trading a diamond for a head of cabbage. It's good to know that the opposite of fear is not love. It is trust. Yet through living a life of trust, we naturally start falling in love with everything and everyone. With 100% trust, we become a loveaholic of life, feeling naturally orgasmic about this precious opportunity we have to live, feeling completely turned on by this chance to find our spiritual path and connection. The expansive feeling in the heart can become so divinely open that every breath feels as though we are making love with the divine. Are you ready to agree for choosing a life devoted to always responding with trust yet? The spiritual power we receive from the trust vibration is simply awesome. Total trust effortlessly engulfs all kinds of egoic negativity that may try to dominate any room. When a person who has 100% unshakable trust enters any community, it is so penetrating and so contagious that everyone's ego eventually falls into either embarrassment or humility. When this group of people all simultaneously begin choosing trust over fear, you can feel this giddy, enlightening joy exponentially expanding through everyone's lives. The group energy becomes more relaxed and at ease with their lives, their future, and everything as it is. To live a life flowing with trust, it's important to understand that fear is not a bad thing. It's just not something you care or want behind making any of your decisions. If you make fear-based decisions in this life, you will only create fear-based outcomes. If you try to avoid fear or attempt to delete it completely from your life, it will sneak back in when your guard is down. Fearful thoughts are here to wake all of us up, to invite us into our biggest selves, as they are simply small contracted truths about reality. It's like tiny grains of sand that can be so meaningless and inconsequential unless one of them gets stuck in your eye. It is amazing how something so small can create such a huge pain. In walking the path of fear, we are living from our egos, because the ego is always feeling either superior or inferior. We become very controlling and judgmental. Living in ego, we become narrow-minded and completely unaware that we are abiding in a very small limiting truth. We know we are living from ego because we feel constantly unsatisfied, perpetually searching for the next fantastic thing or new pleasure to escape into. The ego does not know what inner peace is. It is untrusting of new things, sticking only to what is comfortable, and often feels caught in needing to protect itself from our emotions and feelings. The ego is always new. It is new ways to hide or shine because it does not trust our inner light. And it will always be here to guide us through the darkness. When there is no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating. In order to always choose trust over fear, always choose trust over fear, we need to take a more sensitive approach to feeling into ourselves so we can see when we are in a state of trust of fear. You can check in any moment of your day on what is going on in the area around your heart and chest. If it feels expansive and light, you're in a state of trust. And if it's tight and heavy, you're holding on to fear. The general feeling you carry in your chest is your trust barometer to see what types of choices you're making every day. When we are living each day of our lives in fear, we tend to want to control everything and force our way through this life. We tend to live in this hurry it up mode, rushing through each sacred experience, missing out on the small precious moments where it could have felt as heavenly angels were present. When trust does not become a natural response to life, we become afraid to make decisions. We stop taking risks. We feel stuck in some weird emotional prison and perpetually unhappy for no reason at all. When fear is more important than trust, we feel like a failure in this life instead of simply removing the small speck of sand from our own eyes. We spend our time trying to change ourselves, others, and the outer world. And once we discover how to trust in the experience of trust, a bigger truth takes over our lives, and the walls of our fearful, boxed-in life slowly fall away. If you need to liberate yourself from a fearful state, you must choose welcome all your fears with 100% trust and remember everything is perfect exactly as it is. The universe never makes mistakes. We simply have to choose to accept every pile of manure as a message that we need more fertilizer. If your life or mind becomes too overwhelming or challenging, simply refocus your awareness back on the biggest feeling of trust that you can remember. Dwell only on that trusting feeling for 1 to 2 hours and give yourself permission to stop dwelling on what you fear. And in a very short time, you can find the spiritual light starts seeping back into your very soul again. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. That's the first step. Relaxing your body. You are not the body. You are the God within the body. So you relax the body. Let go of all the stresses, fears, anxieties, worries, hurries that we carry. None of us are exempt from this. We carry them. Some a lot, some a little, some average, but we carry them. And why do we carry them? Even though we know that they don't serve us the greater good, we carry them. Does that make any sense to any of us? So we let them go. We drop them off. If you're carrying a lot of weight and you're going up a hill, and you know that the weight you're carrying does not serve you the greater good, in fact, it doesn't serve you any good, what do you think you're going to do? Well, you're going to drop it. You're only going to think twice about it. Then you become real light. And then you're moving up that hill like it's not even there. And that's the choice. And we always have that choice with ourselves. Are we interested in hanging on to all this stuff or letting it go? And when you let it go, the body relaxes. It's automatic. The body will relax. It'll just go, this is great. Becomes light. It isn't thinking. It isn't concerned. It isn't in a hurry. It isn't worried. All that stuff is gone. And you'll know it. You'll feel it. You'll feel the body and how light and easy it is. And then once that happens, you move into the now. And the now is everything. Moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. Whatever you're doing in the moment, right in the now, that's the only thing you're focused on. You're not focused on 10 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You're not focused on 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 50 years ago. You're only focused on the now. Moment to moment. You'll be amazed once you practice that. And you just slowly but surely move into autopilot with it, that you're always in the now. To be in the now immediately all the time cannot be. You practice, and you practice being in the now. The now stills the mind, stills the ego, stills the subconscious mind, which means you step out of them. And the only way you're going to master them is by watching them. You don't judge them, you watch them. They're not bad. They could become very good allies until they're no longer needed. They make horrible masters. So when you step outside those, your body's relaxed. You're in the now. It's like you could have the worst, most cataclysmic storm on the planet. Yet you're in the center. You have no interest in going into that storm. You're only in the now. You're in the center of that storm, where all the peace, all the trust is with you, for you. Now you look at the body, right? And it's relaxed. There's the tens of millions of programmed thoughts that float by all of us nonstop, 24/7. They're not there. They're not there in the now. This is a way to finally break away from the programmed thoughts that just inundate all of us 24/7. It's a way to finally escape the matrix. Being in the now. So if you look at the body, and you notice these wheels of light. And they're not like the light you've seen here on this planet. They're way beyond that, the depth of the color, the expanse of it, the brilliance of it. 7 different colors. And you'll immediately know that you as the God in that body flow through those energy vortexes, wheels of light, chakras. And they spread through the whole body. And they influence organs, tissues, all emotions, head to toe, inside and out, around, above, and below you. Now, when we know and we navigate, then we understand. You look at the root chakra, the red wheel of light. It sits at the tip of your tailbone. And it deals with our survival, which is money and food, and shelter, and all of that. And of course, it's not a surprise that it's blocked by fear. So you, the God, are blocked from flowing through these energy vortexes because the fear is created to stop by the ego mind. Then we move to the sacral chakra. This deals with our sexuality, our pleasure, our joy, our bliss. How many times have any of you remember when you were experiencing something in the course of a day, an evening, whatever, and it was like flawless? There were no interruptions. It was just, everything just kept falling into place. And it wasn't like you were pushing it at all. It was just happening. And you were in a state of bliss. And then, of course, the ego mind comes in, and you get this feeling in your gut, and the feeling in the heart, and it says, you know that this isn't going to last forever. So you might as well enjoy it while you can. Why does that happen? Well, fear, and then the guilt comes in. Well, you don't deserve to have this all the time, only once in a while. See what happens? And that's not true, because all of us deserve to be in that state always. Not just once in a while, but always, every single one of us. See, almost, with the guilt, you just want to say, bye, guilt. Don't need you. There's no place here for you. Please leave. Then we move to the solar plexus chakra. This deals with our willpower. And what destroys the willpower is shame. And the shame is what? Where does the shame come from? Ego mind. Then we move to the green wheel of light, the emerald green wheel of light. This is our ability to love. Ability to love. It's blocked by grief. When you're in grief, you're incapable of love. Then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra. It deals with our truths. It's our communication while we're in these bodies. And it's blocked by lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light. Third eye chakra deals with insight, intuition, blocked by illusion. And then the crown chakra. This deals with our direct connection to the divine. You. And it is blocked by ego attachment. Once we understand this about the body, why do you think those are there? So that we can learn. So that we know what the ego mind does by watching them. So that we know how to navigate. So the God that you are flows through the body effortlessly, without interruption, without blocks. Now, we, the God, and your divine positive energy, your breath, which sustains the God within the body, and every single time of being in the now, your breath keeps you in the now. Every time you focus on the breath, it will bring you into the now. That's powerful, and it is knowledge to understand it. And every time you apply it, it will not fail you one single time. And every single time the ego mind and these thoughts try to grab you away and out of all of this and out of the body and somewhere else, then you immediately know, all I've got to do is focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. It's a wonderful vehicle and tool for us all to know that, to have that understanding. So we hold and compress ourselves, the energy. So we transform it into liquid energy, omnipotently powerful, and we pour it over the pineal gland. Now, all of us have pineal glands, of course. It's just that none of us have a fully operational, completely perfect, healthy pineal gland. Not yet. And it's important to us while we're in these bodies because it connects us to all the particles of existence. All the gateways, all the realms. Now, you can view your pineal gland through your heart, mind's motion picture. see it however you see it for yourself. I see it as a green ball, a rosebud. And then when I pour the God that I am over this pineal gland, it absolutely transforms into a massive fully bloomed rose, multicolored petals, and fragrance that is just spectacular. And it sends out these waves, these frequencies, energies that saturate, flood, bathe me from head to toe, inside and out. And it is of the highest, of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. And it is of the highest, of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And of the highest, of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal peace. It's massive. The power is immeasurable. It isn't disrupting. It isn't harming. It isn't painful. It's all the opposite. And then I discover that it is me. The rose is me. The fragrance is me. The multicolored petals are me. I am the rose, and the rose is me. These bodies, the heart mind, the ego mind, the God, the pure consciousness, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, it's all one. Each of us that are awake to a certain extent, we are heaven on this earth. The soul in the body right now that you're in is heaven. The body is the earth. Heaven on earth. And every single step that we all make, we are creating paradise. Without fail. Because there is no fail. And we have learned to shine our God Force Love Light energy 360 degrees, fanning out endlessly, which is of the highest high of deep, pure, eternal love, of which we are. So picture that. See it through your heart, mind, motion picture. All of us, hundreds of millions of us on and off world participating in this meditation, consciously aware, creating paradise, shining our God Force Love Light energy, flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, all of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep. So if you wanted to, you could see this planet from afar, out in the sacredness of space, and you would see that it glowed. And it can be seen in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Now, we have parts of ourselves. We're part of collective consciousness. We're parts. So parts of us are asleep. Other parts aren't. They're awake, consciously aware. So we reach out to the parts of us that are consciously aware in this meditation. Such as all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, including this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Now they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex will fill this universe without even an inch of sacred space to spare. And, of course, they come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now here on this planet, we aren't familiar with many. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen, because the eyes we have with these bodies only see 1% of what is in this planet. And the ones that we know of are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the Guga plexus, they are all with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, Greys, Draco Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Many, many, many civilizations and species. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And they are with us now consciously. In the billions. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming a circle of light, the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now consciously. You have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Now the archangels, their civilization, have vibrated at different frequency than we do. There's trillions of them. Now, we don't see them like we see each other, but we do meet with them. And it could be just one statement, simple, any time that you interact with them. It doesn't have to be a full-time meeting, interaction somewhere, but you'll know the vibrational tune of their voice. You'll know who they are. You'll know that they are an angel. And it's delivered in many different ways. But it is the same message. Isn't it absolutely glorious, spectacular, phenomenal to be alive in these bodies? To experience this life. And yes, it is. And there's the bliss. Now, they can surround any one of us at any time in the tens of thousands because of the fact they can house a large number in a small area because of their vibrational frequency. And if you'd like them to do that, ask. More bliss. The ascended masters have mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form to master physical form, to create our experiences, to perfect our creation. And some of us, just possibly, may discover that we are the light. And that when we decide to leave these bodies, we are the light. Therefore, we don't follow the light. We are the light. So we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the God source that's within each and every single one of us. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns to even come close to its radiance. And it is of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest, purest eternal love. And it is flooding this planet. It is flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Bathing, saturating, and flooding all of our brothers and sisters head to toe, inside and out, whether they're awake or asleep. This is nonstop. It isn't intermittent. It isn't for a bit. It is always. We begin to ascend above this planet. As we do, we're met with this massive, crystalline, glittery ocean. It's everywhere. It's spectacular. Prisms and light shooting everywhere. And we seek the source of the reflection. And we see these microscopic, tiny little etched mirrors. So we go into them and we discover that all of us are teaching each other. We are learning. We are both student and teacher. Every time someone comes into your life or you come into theirs, there is an education. There is something to learn. And there is something to teach. This is eternal, as our journey is unending. And it is with us always. Whole different understanding and perspective when you see and view things this way. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that we've all created. It reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we've created of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with white fire. This is the column of light that reminds every single one of us that we've created that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with white fire armor, way beyond that of a knight's armor. This emanates from the God Force love light energy inside of every single one of us. And it is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Nothing can harm us at all. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, nothing. Ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, fear, anger, stress, anxiety, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we've created, that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are vaporized, and they are no more ever again. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that we've created that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds every single one of us that we've created that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and the forests. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're the soils. We're the animals. We're the sky, the clouds. We're everything. So the next time you see a sunset, or a sunrise, or a starry lit night sky, you're the beauty that you see. You're the divineness. You're the grace. You're the magnificence, divine perfection. We continue to ascend above this planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above. If we're carrying physical form, and why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower that we created. It's larger than this solar system. In the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white ball of light, and it's surrounded by numerous colored, vibrantly colored rings of light. And they're all almost like this vortex is just showering us and streaming us, wave after wave. The golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high and the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal love. Then comes the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, peace, well-being, prosperity, abundance, great wealth, great joy, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. It is unending. And at the top of this crystalline light tower, we designed this so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees. This is doing right now, saturating, flooding this planet head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And this is pure, deep, eternal love. This is what we're made of. We're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of the golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops. Drops are the golden ocean. The only illusion for any of us is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds nearly 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. This is hundreds of millions of us on and off world in this meditation every single day for over 3 years. The intent is the highest of the highest high. There is no greed. There is no hurry. There is just pure, deep, eternal love. For everything, all of us, all life, to ascend into the higher and the higher and the higher frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Never be worried about what other people say about you. Never take note of it. Always think of only one thing. God is my judge, the God within me. Am I able to face God? Let that be the criteria of your whole life, and you will not go amiss. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Man is a strange animal. He explores everything. He will go to Everest. He will go to the North Pole. He will go to the moon. But he will never think of going within himself. This is the greatest dis-ease that man suffers from. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here Monday, July 5th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.